Hey guys, before we get started, just want to take a quick moment to thank Deer Cam Coffee and Yeti for everything they do to help keep us awake and energized for the whole show and keep you guys entertained. Make sure you subscribe and stick around to all BowHunterPlanet stuff so you can get into chances to win things. And hey, let's have some fun.
The BHP podcast is presented by BowHunterPlanet.com. Join the hunt.
Support for the BowHunterPlanet podcast is provided by HHA Sports, Cold Steel Knives, Scott Archery, Burris Optics, Element Outdoors, Reveal Cellular Trail Cams, Deer Cam Coffee. Additional support is provided by Yeti.
Hey guys, welcome to BowHunterPlanet's podcast. On today's show, we got Ryan Schutz from Bear Archery launching the 2021 stuff. This is a very exciting time, and I just want to say thanks to Bear for doing this with us. It's very, very exciting. So Ryan, I guess what is going through your guys' heads right now? Because I know it's close to launch. I know there's got to be a lot of excitement right now at the Bear Camp.
Yeah, this is always super exciting. From a consumer base, it's always kind of like Christmas when the big brands launch all their stuff. You can't wait. You've been waiting forever. And, on the manufacturing side or my side, it kind of makes you feel like Santa Claus too, because you bought all these gifts and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see what people think and hear their reactions and thoughts. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool. We'll share with you guys in a minute the PDF that is the brochure this year, and we'll start going through that with Ryan. But before that, Ryan, wouldn't it be so cool? I was just thinking about this because Jamie and I have been really into this, trying to get this new PlayStation 5 and this Xbox. Wouldn't it be awesome if your website just freaking crashed from the amount of people who want to see it?
It would. There's a good and a bad to that, but I would take the good part of that. If there's that much excitement, it would be awesome.
It's just literally nuts what's happened in the gaming world with that. When they launch something now like that, it's just insane to me. But okay, so I'm going to share the screen so you can kind of take us through the Fred Bear Way 2021 product guide. This again, guys, seeing this for the first time with you guys, so it's very exciting to see the new products, and we have a chance here today to not only see them but to talk with Ryan about them and learn a little bit on how they got inspired to do some of the designs they did and the new ideas. So let's share our screen here and start with this conversation now. All right. You guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, the first thing I noticed before we even get to the bows, Ryan, is the sick logo. Did that change slightly?
It did change a little bit. That's kind of the logo we used on some of the t-shirts and stuff, and we just liked it so much more than what we had on the packaging, so that's kind of our official logo now on.
Yeah, it looks good. I noticed that right off the bat. I was like, what is that? It looks great. Looks like you guys got a nice little saying in here. I don't expect you to read through all this, but this is a nice little saying with Fred Bear and talking about that being a valued partner. So again, this is the PDF. This is the catalog you guys would see when you go to the store, and here is the overview summary lineup, and then we'll get into each individual bow with the specs and everything soon. So I guess, Ryan, I guess I'll say what I feel about this in a minute, but I guess what is your guys' thought process on this right here, this lineup, or how did you guys come up with this?
So we kind of start from the top down, and we always try to meet all the customers' needs, right? So we're very happy with the status bow with the Eko Cam. So that the Eko Cam was a very big deal for us last year, as you guys know. So it was, our venture into higher let-off world. We wanted to make it adjustable and very easy to use to keep true with our Bear brand, because it's kind of what we're known for. So now we're even trying to put it into some more technical bows, which is when you start to get into the redemption, and the redemption has lots of vibration properties built into it. So we felt like, how do we improve? We feel like we can even make a bow be more vibration free than we have in the past. So that was our very big push there. Plus, of course, going forward with that new Eko Cam.
Yeah, this is great. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep, and so that's just a quick overview. We can get more into it, but then in that Legend series, we still wanted there to be the status still is around. Then we entered a new Inception bow into the mix, and then a Whitetail Legend, which is pretty important to us. The Whitetail name means a lot at Bear Archery. I mean, it's one of the more iconic compound bows ever ever produced. So with the Whitetail Hunter and the Whitetail Hunter 2 that Fred did. So that's really got a lot of value built into it, like he did with his bows. So we're really excited with that. And then we were chatting before we started a little bit about the legit, and that's like my most exciting Christmas present, so to say. So it does so much. And then just a quick hit on where we put the RTH Extra kind of industry first that we brought up there is, especially lately, there's a strong need for you to be able to get everything you need in one shot, kind of like one click, or just, you know, one grab off the hook at a pro shop, and you have everything you need. So that's what those bow packages are. So some of them come with broadheads, release, and arrows. And the arrows are even pre-cut with inserts and field points. It's all packaged together, so there's not a lot of extra work running into the back room to get all the items. So really tried to make it as easy as possible to literally, you could buy a bow and be shooting it as soon as you walk out the door, so to say.
That to me is this right here. This to me and Jamie are talking about. This is unbelievable. Like to me, to have a release come with this, broadheads, the arrows, this is ready to go. You know, this is something that people, I don't think understand how important this is. Like this is to me, this makes sense to me too, right? You guys have the tech, you have all these parts with, you know, having your brands with Trophy Ridge and everything. You have it, you're ready to go. You just had to mend this together like this. And this is to me what it's all about. Like this is what I would send a friend to the store to buy. Cause I'd be like, hey, everything's in this package. You're good to go. There's no question of, oh, what arrows or what this or what that. It's all ready to go. You know, you don't even have to think about the release now. You know, the broadheads, you're giving something right off the bat. So with
It's a great entry point. That's what we wanted. Just get you started. More people into archery, the better for all of us.
For sure, for sure. And when you said that the arrows are ready to go, already pre-cut. So if I go in there to now, this is a pro shop, I'm assuming. So I go to a pro shop, I say I'm a 29-inch draw. They go find a pack that's 29. So you guys are sending like the arrows in packs of like 27, 8, 9, 30, 31 type thing?
Nope. What we're doing is, so like what we call on the adult type packages. So the packages you would get on the species and the legit bow, um, those are gonna those would come our plan is that you're overspined and then you can always adjust from there, right? So you'll definitely get good performance no matter what without poor performance. Could you do it, you know, more precise? Of course you could. But so in those two bows, the legit and the species, those are pre-cut at 29 inches, so they'll work on the shortest draw and the longest draw.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the inserts are already glued in, and then the field tips are screwed in. But what we also did is we included 5 loose inserts in the package. So let's just say so the
Yeah,
legit,
if you
which
had
we're
to
about
cut.
to go over, goes down to 10 pounds. So,
Yeah.
and a super short draw length. So if you were only, you know, someone starting off and you were only a 24-inch draw, you could cut them and use those new
Got
inserts
it.
that come in the
Smart.
package.
That's a good idea. I don't know who did this in the boardroom, but that's actually a really good idea on how to take care of that situation. I love it. I do want to point out the Royale. This was one of my favorite bows this past year. My son shot this bow. We did the video, and he loved it. And I just want to say that this is an amazing option for kids. And if you have a young child, this bow is really something. So definitely consider that. And I know, Ryan, you were
And
saying the age
yeah,
ranges. You were mentioning that this bow legit will fit teenage and up type kids, correct?
yeah, it goes 14-inch draw to 30 and 10 pounds to 70. So it really could
Wow.
fit everybody, to the point of even the mass weight's pretty low. It's 3.6 pounds. So when we were developing, that weight was something that I was thinking about a lot, right? So,
Yeah.
and you guys know, you guys are hunters, balance almost matters more than that number, right? So you can
Hmm.
have a heavier bow, but if you balance as well, uh, younger people could use it. So my 9-year-old daughter is able to draw and shoot that bow I would say very, very well. Now, I do
Nice.
like her shooting the Royale to what
Yeah.
you had said before. And the Royale is more youth driven. So it gets a different release. It gets a new Archer X youth
Yeah.
style release. So fits smaller wrists. And then those arrows are 400 spine and they only max out, they're pre-cut at 27 inches since that bow's draw doesn't go as long. So, and then the other unique thing there is if you remember that RTH package doesn't come with a stabilizer. This one does. And no broadheads.
Didn't
Just
catch that.
because.
Yeah. Very
So,
cool. Okay. All right. We're going to move on, baby. Oh my
yeah, there's a lot.
gosh. There's this. Okay. Wow. I don't
So
know if
I'll
we should
just,
talk about it here or I should just keep
yeah,
moving.
we'll just keep them brief overviews here
Okay.
so we can get in depth. But you can see the crossbows were definitely something that we worked hard on. We've got a couple new models. We have some new options in models that we already released last year. And boy, have we been asked for a cockinade. So we made sure that we were able to deliver that. So that's in that line.
Awesome.
And then last time I was on this podcast, I sure had a great time talking traditional. So it's always fun. I mean, that's definitely the roots of bear archery, right? So our 50th anniversary bow continues that we introduced this year, but the big one on there is the mag riser. So this has been popular for so many years. It was in the 1970s the last time that we produced a mag riser, and so now we will start to produce the mag riser. So we'll get a little bit more in depth on that one, but that one's super exciting for us at Bear. Then a few accessories there. Another one that's really fun for us is the patches. I mean, that was a huge
Yeah, those
deal.
look cool.
So we're really happy and excited to reintroduce those again.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And then Trophy Ridge, obviously we like to put a lot of new into Trophy Ridge. So we have a complete line of releases in Trophy Ridge, from T-handles to single jaw to double jaw. So we'll go over those. Couple new sites that we're pretty excited about. You guys have always been big supporters of Trophy Ridge. So those are pretty cool sites that we'll go over there. And then some also enhancements that we just did to some accessories. That click light we're going to start to put in our React sites, and it's a positive click, so it's got 3 different settings. It's just a light, hard to get too excited, but it's like half the size, half the weight. Batteries last longer than our old one. It's if you're an archery geek like I am, you get excited about stuff. So
That's awesome. I love this stuff. I sent a thing to Alex. Like, we had to get these to our studio because that would be something we could do in between shooting bows. That is so cool. So you guys,
yeah, those look really good too. That wood
cornhole,
look
it
on
looks
there.
really nice, beautiful. And then the seats, the bar stools. I mean, we use bar stools every day in our video work. So that's so funny that you guys finally did one. That's really cool. All right, so let's keep moving on. So you guys are offering this Onyx thing.
Yeah, so this is a new partnership for us and Onyx Maps. So on the Redemption EKO, and the Legit Bow, if you purchase any one of those this year, you get a free 3-month Onyx Premium membership. So it's on the tag that comes with the bow. It's just a simple code, and you're able to download those maps. And if you've ever used them before, hunting public or hunting private, they're amazing. The data
cool.
there is really worthwhile. So we're really excited to be able to partner with them to be able to offer that to our customers.
Yeah, that's a great deal. I think Nobloom, you play with that app, right?
Yeah.
Love that app.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's a filler.
Yep, just photos.
Here we go. All right. So we'll start with Trophy Ridge, I guess. This is first.
Yep. So the reason this is first in our catalog this year is that those are they're Trophy Ridge, but we're putting them in like the Bear Legend series, which is our dealer only series. So pretty exciting. So these will be available at your dealer. So what we did there is we've changed the colorations a little bit. You guys are very familiar with our Trophy Ridge site. So usually we put like a lot of clear protective clear kind of plastic over our fiber optics to protect it. We found that the yellow works really, really well in gathering light as well. And then it obviously kind of pops, works really good with some of the new colors on the bows we're going to go over. But then we've also tried to to fit the needs of what people wanted. So like on that Retaliate, we get asked quite a bit that, hey, we love React. Can you make one as light as possible? How can you make this lighter? Because, you know, some of those, you, you know, like people that are hunting sheep and things like that really cut weight on everything at times, right? So we listen to them. We put ballistic copolymer on there to help lighten it up, and really kind of bare boned it down. So to make it as light as possible, and then but still get you that React 5-pin technology.
I love
So
this orange. I'm just gonna be flat out honest with you. This thing looks fantastic. Like I am so
it
pumped when I
looks
see
so
this
much
thing.
better in person
It
too.
looks
This
I can't
looks good,
imagine.
but in person it looks better.
Now, as far as the trilogy goes, what kind of distance? I know you can't give exact distance, but what kind of range we talking here with this thing? Like a 100-yard shot, possibly?
Yeah, you definitely can. As you guys know, it really depends on your bow setup, right? And then also
Yeah,
your anchoring point. But definitely, if you were shooting a faster setup, so like my Redemption or a Status or
yeah.
some of the faster bows on the market, you definitely could. You might even get a little bit faster depending on
Wow,
the
that's
arrow weight
cool.
that you're using, or a little bit further depending on the arrow weight. And there's a lot of guys that like, you know, it's 3 pins, so you could do your 20, you know, your 10, 20, or sorry, your 20, 30, 40, and then
Yeah,
you can float the last pin, which is getting pretty popular.
yeah. Very cool. Okay. All right, here it is.
So,
Flagship.
so this one's great. I'm very excited about this bow. So what we did here, just I'll hit some of the big specs and I'll kind of get into the detail of what we did with this bow is, so it's 342 feet per second, so 4.1 pounds, so still very light. Good brace height at 6.25. It's 31 inches axle to axle, which we feel is kind of the sweet spot lately on axle to axle. Still get the Eko Cam, which is the adjustable let off. So you can pick 75, 80, 85, and 90 right on the cam, no bow press needed. 26 to 30-inch draw, and then we offer it in 2 different weights. So you can peak at 45 to 60 or 55 to 70. But so still get the EKO cam technology that we offered last year, and then you still get the Align Lock technology that we launched last year, which is the level in the riser that definitely helps when you're setting up like your trophy ridge accessories, third axis sights, things like that. Um, but then our big one is our all new vibration reduction system. We call it VRS, and everything kind of works in conjunction there. So we've got a rubber insert on the top and bottom of the riser, and then a metal ring that goes around that, which helps take. We call this our bear cage design. As you guys know, really the riser is kind of hollowed out. And so that helps grab that vibration when it's trying to come across there. And then we've also put a little bit of weight and rubber on what we call the fin of that particular bow, where it gets really narrow at the front, which definitely is, it's proven that we're seeing up to 25% reduction in vibration with this system. Now we also, it still works in conjunction with our shockwave systems that are on all 4 limbs. And then it also works with our string dampening system that you can see is a little bit different than what we've generally did in the Legend series. In the Legend series, we generally have 2 string stops. This year, we just have 1. We're seeing quite a bit of positive results with that. And then what we've also been able to do on the back of our bows that we haven't did too often is now you've got a place to screw in if you wanted, you know, a sidebar or just straight weights. So now at the bottom there, you're
Is it
able
like right
to
here?
adjust
Or
that. Yep, right there.
this
That you're
looks
able to
different.
do that.
Is
Yep.
this a
So
different system?
it's the same system. It's just a singular where we usually do a double.
Got it. Yeah. I
And
remember
you
the
still get,
Carnage, right? The Carnage had that one kind of kind of
yep.
hooked out on both sides.
And even the Status had 2, that one on top and one on bottom, but the Redemption does not. It still comes with 2 grips. So a little bit we call it the Versa grip, a little bit bigger grip, and then that's more of our narrow grip that we offer there. Another really cool thing that you can't see in this picture, but you mentioned at the beginning of the show, is we're really, really big on pushing the Fred Bear way, right? Fred is definitely important to, I think, all of us hunters, so to say, right? And we think about him in almost all our designs. So on the back of this riser at the top, there's a little badge that says the Fred Bear Way. It's a small thing, but
Oh,
and
cool.
I'm an archery geek, so I like
Yeah.
that.
Is it somewhere like in here or is it up in
It's
here?
nope, it's right in there,
Yeah, cool. That's very
right
cool.
kind of at that turn. So this bow, it shoots great.
Okay,
I
so
think you guys will enjoy this when you get it.
when we talk about the speed and we talk about those Eko Cam technology with the different let-offs, when you guys do the speed of 342, are you doing that at 75% generally?
Generally.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
I'm just curious. So basically, the less, so 75% would be faster than 90%, I'm assuming.
Yeah, some I can tell you we actually work on that quite a bit. So yes, you can see a couple feet per second at times. We try to get it so it's as even as it can be across the board, which my engineers work very hard to do that.
Yeah.
So but it's also tough to do that. The let off does matter. And you guys
Very
know
cool.
that.
Yeah.
So, Realtree Edge, Veil, Alpine Veil Stoke, Iron Olive, and the Fred Bear Original Camo. This is awesome.
And
Well
olive is
done.
a new pattern to us. That's what you see in that picture. It's kind of like that off green.
Yeah,
Looks
I
really
like it.
good. I like the Fred Bear camo a lot myself too. And Realtree's really they all look good on this bow. I like the colors just because that fin pops a little bit more in the
Yeah,
front.
it looks really good. You guys ever done any like weird custom colors just for fun, just to test something?
Yeah, we have.
What's the
Yep.
coolest, weirdest one? Rainbow or
I
something?
would say the coolest one that you would never be able to afford. A couple years ago, we put a custom flag on one, like, and I mean
Wow.
custom. Like basically, it was like painting a car, but painting the riser.
Wow, that's cool. That's really
And
cool.
it turned out really good, so good. People saw it and they're like, "Yeah, we want it." And we're like, "Well,
Too
that's
bad.
a very expensive bow." Because paint's not very cheap, as you guys
Everybody
know.
says they want it when they see it. It's like our T-shirts. No Boom bought like 40,
Oh,
1,000 of them, and no one bought
Yeah.
them.
Everybody
spent-
wanted it. So I ordered 100.
Yeah, we spent more on paint than what the bow was at that point, but it looked great. It really did.
Oh my gosh, this is great. This is honestly really good. And one of the things I want to say real quick before we move on to the next bow is just that I'm so ecstatic and excited that for the flagship bow, you guys are keeping it under $1,000. That has been one of the staples about Bear that I love is that you guys have not jumped on the bandwagon of hitting, the $1,100, $1,200 mark for your flagship. And I think that's really important because a lot of people, they're doing their best, right? And they can't afford a ton, but Bear, in my opinion, and we've talked about this on calls, it's just that Bear offers such a variety across the spectrum of pricing to help people find the right bow just to get them out there. And this is really important to me that you guys have been able to keep under $1,000. And I know it's hard because obviously everything goes up in price for you guys. I know purchasing very well, so I understand it's not always easy to hold your own pricing, but this is a job well done. Well done.
Well, we appreciate it, and you're right. It is tough to hold the pricing, but Fred was really big on that. Wants archery for everyone, so we're trying to keep it that way best we can. So this is the status as of last year, and it stays in the line. So there really is no new changes
Perfect.
there, but
Still a great
still some
looking
guy.
bow.
Yeah, and some people like that longer axle to axle. 33 is still pretty popular.
Yeah.
Everybody was going short for a while, but feels like there's a little trend on people still liking that longer draw or longer axle to axle. So this back to value, that's really why the inception is
Oh
what
my
it is.
gosh.
So bow only,
$5.99.
Yeah,
yep,
right.
bow only $4.99, RTH $5.99. Really good kit. We think really good kit. Trophy Ridge, we decked it out with a Fix 5, Trophy Ridge whisker biscuit, which basically everybody knows about. Our static stabilizer.
It's
And our
crazy.
newer no tie Peep. We did just offer 3 color options in this one. So shadow, which you wouldn't think's a big deal, but we haven't offered a shadow or a black bow in the Legend series in a while. so we get asked quite a bit for it. And obviously, the black goes well with all accessories, so I think it makes it look very sharp. And then Fredbear, and then also Realtree. But this bow is a great value for $5.99
I don't know how
plus.
you guys do it. How do you guys
And then the bow
honestly
specs
you
are
make a
amazing.
dime? I
I
still
mean,
get it. There's so much amazing. I just this is amazing to me that a hunter can go to a store, buy this bow, and literally be ready to hunt for $5.99.99. Like just
and have a lot of the top specs. Really, 340 is a legit number. I mean, that is a great speed number. 4.3 is not a
yeah.
heavy bow. I mean, all the specs on this really add up to bows that cost a lot more than this.
I do have a question. Who came up with this shelf? Because I love
Well,
this shelf,
Yeah,
and this design, no one has that. You guys are the only people that have it look like that.
yeah, one of my engineers came up with that. I think it's a great idea. I always kind of push for, I like a lighter bow.
Yeah.
So we always try to push to get it as light as possible. So that's one thing every little bit or every little
Yeah.
cut adds up. So
Yeah, it makes sense. You might as well cut it where you can. I mean, obviously it's cost, right? Anytime you're going to
yes.
cut more, but I mean, you guys obviously were able to do it perfectly on this one. Okay, cool. This is a great option, guys. Inception, ready to hunt or bow only. So if you already have your accessories, you want to carry them over, you can save $100. But to be honest with you, $100 for everything you get on here, you might as well sell your old accessories. So just my opinion, but all right, here we go.
All right. Well, we're obviously excited about the redemption, but this one just means a lot to everybody inside Bear Archery, right? Anytime we use the whitetail name, I mentioned it before, it means a lot to us. So what we really wanted to do in the Legend series is even try to give you better value than the Inception we just talked about. So, which was a tall task, right? But there's still a lot of people love the simplicity of a single cam. And there's definitely simplicity in a single cam. So what we did here was what we wanted to do is how do we make a single cam even a little bit better? Like what's the next step that we can give somebody that we're not now in a single cam? So we came up with doing a draw stop on the single cam. So some of the bows we just talked about, like on the Redemption, it comes with cable stops, but then it also comes with a limb stop, so you can get that complete 100% solid back wall, which many of us like. Well, now we give you that limb stop option also on this Whitetail Legend. So once you get it all set up, then you can put your limb stop on there right at you can see it on the cam there, it's kind of silver. And once you get that set up, once you draw that solo cam, it's dead stop up against the limb. It just feels great, especially if you're tree stand hunting. Anytime you're bending, it's all the way at full draw. So solo cams have been around a long, long time. So trying to do something new there is tough, but we thought we would try that, and we still are getting really good speed out of it. 320 for us for a solo cam is really good, and this package is very good too. It's trophy rich from head to toe, volt sight,
Looks
whisker
great.
biscuit. And
Looks
this
really
one
good.
is available in olive also. So
I love the way this looks right here alone. This looks incredible. It really does. You guys did a great job on this one. Now, let me ask you, this piece right here, I can't really see it very well, but because it's a photo, but is this go behind that, or is this actually coming out like widthwise?
No, they're all in line.
That's in line.
So that's coming
Okay.
behind it. Yes.
Got it. I couldn't tell if it was like, wide or if it was behind it. Because me and Noble were looking at that. Like, I don't know this thing looks great though, honestly. So guys, Whitetail Legend series, a single cam, $479.99 package. Unbelievable. In Fredbear camo. So it looks really, really incredible. So I don't want to hear it if you guys say you can't afford to go bow hunting. That's not acceptable anymore. Bears just broke it for you. All right, cool. Moving on. Just a comparison
That's just
chart.
the spec, so you can compare the 4 bows.
Perfect. Okay, I'm just trying to see if anything that makes me want to ask any questions. Just kind of going through it. Axle 4 point. All right, I'm good. No boom. Anything? You good?
No, we went through this. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, this is great. Really good. Okay, here we go. Moving down. All right, Divergent's still around, huh? Keeping that baby Great
We
bow.
are. The Eko Cam has done great for us. And like we were talking about before, we try to make sure that we can fit what everybody's desire is, right? So some of us want a 30-inch axle bow. Some of us want a 33. So we make sure that we offer something that's going to fit everybody there.
Yeah, I love
So
the cam
Divergent
color in
does
this one. Looks great. The whole thing
the
looks good
bronze.
the way it is. Yeah, looks really good.
So, and we think this is a good value too at $6.99 for those specs. So especially with that cam.
Yeah,
So
I would just say the Divergent series has been one of my favorites so far. You guys have done it. It literally is a tiny bow and just a lot of power. Great bow.
and then the next one in the line is the Revival, which is kind of our target model, or price point target model, I should say. So it stays in the line untouched.
Nice. This is a longer bow, right? This is
It
37
is.
and a half. So
Yep.
some people actually love super long bows. In fact, when I was a kid, a lot of people had bows that were like super long. So if you're a person who wants this for hunting, you can still use it for hunting. I don't think you'd have any issue there.
Definitely. No,
But if you
you
want
could.
a long bow, this is 7-inch brace height, 4.4 pounds is so light, honestly, for a bow this big. That's crazy. That's really cool.
Yeah, and that cam's just a variation of what we use on our hunting cam. So there's a lot of power there.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
All
it used
right.
to be not that long ago that would have been considered a short bow, but we're
Yeah.
way past that now.
Paradox sticking around. I see. Great bow too.
Yep, with that single cam option there.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, we'll keep moving. We already covered I think Prowess sticking around. That was this year too, correct?
Yes.
Okay, keep going. Here we go. New ready to hunt extra kits.
So this is, we touched on them just a little bit before, but so in the species, which has been a bow we've had for a couple of years now, we're going to offer the ready to hunt in it and select camo options. And so really what the ready to hunt is that we went over before is you get 5 arrows with field points in inserts, and then you get a Archer X release, and then you get 3 broadheads. So which are our rocket siphon broadheads that we launched last year. So you are really set to hunt. I mean, it'd be great if you went and bought another package of broadheads. That's a great idea, especially if they're rocket or sick. But
Yeah.
other than that, you should be good to go.
Yeah, this is really cool.
And then in the Royale, it's just more youth oriented, the items that we put in that kit. So this just shows, so the species, we still offer it in just the RTH if that's what you want, right? So if you don't want the arrows, you don't need the arrows, you don't need a release or broadheads, the RTH is still around. So you could get the bow only at $299 or the RTH at $399 or the RTH extra at $519.
Nice.
So
Very
giving you
cool.
definitely choices. The species LD stays in the line, which has longer draw options. And then this is probably the most exciting bow we have to talk about this year. The Redemption is definitely up in that discussion. But when you see this in person, it will definitely blow you away for what it is. When you see the $399 RTH and you just look at that picture, I mean, this is a complete, very real hunting bow. 315 speed. It's a dual cam. It's 3.6 pounds, 6-inch brace height.
So light.
Axle is 29 and 8, so almost 30. Its dual cam is 75% let off, and the adjustability is huge. 14 to 30, 10 to 30.
Wow.
This could be the only bow you ever own if you wanted it to be.
Oh
We
my
prefer that
gosh.
you keep buying new ones, but you can tell that riser, we've really worked hard on those risers, as that riser is similar to the Divergent, which is similar to the Paradox. So they're similar, not the same. So we've continued to work on that design to perfect it, to really be able to get it into this type of price point package that we think if you start with Bear Archery and this is the bow we feel is very confident you will enjoy archery.
You guys should be scared. This bow, you might sell too many of these, and this price is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't believe you have $400 ready to hunt package on this bow with these specs. 3.6 pounds. This bow is so light. This is incredible. Like honestly incredible. 520 with all of that. Holy cow. I think you just like literally I think you guys just upset the industry single-handedly. This is incredible.
Shoot it just
I would,
like that too.
I can't believe it. I
and
can't
and
believe all
I'll
that.
be very interested when you guys are able to shoot it, because of course you hear dual cams and been around a long time, right? You can notice that these dual cams, they're pretty big compared to what we've normally done.
Mm-hmm.
So we worked really hard to try to improve the let off and the draw curve on this, so there isn't that spongy feel, and we really worked hard to do that when it's that way, whether you're at 20 inches or 30 inches. So when you get something with that much versatility in the cam, it takes a lot of engineering. Our
Is this a
engineering
new
did a
cam or is
great
this
job.
a cam we've seen?
It's similar to the cam on the Cruiser G2, which would be the next page that has been one of our great selling bows, but you can just tell from the picture they don't look the same.
Yeah.
There's definitely some changes inside of
Let
it.
me ask you this, because I'm not an engineer and I don't really understand any of that. So let's just say you guys are messing around, right? Because you're that's what you guys do. You're gonna mess around, come up with ideas. Let's say you threw the EKO cam on this. What happens? Will the bow still work? Just a different way?
It's not that simple.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
I just don't understand how that works. So it's like it changes everything. Then you're saying basically.
yes, it does.
Got it.
Yep,
Okay.
there's all kinds of different angles, and yeah, my engineers wouldn't even want me to be talking about it because it's very difficult.
Yeah, we're logistics guys. When the engineers start talking, we kind of fade a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just curious, Cruiser G2. This thing's been around, but man, what a bow this has been. Great
It
bow.
has been. So we decided to keep it in the line, even with the legit. Um, we we did narrow down its camo offerings, so we didn't talk about it too much on the last one on the legit. But the
Oh,
legit
holy
is
cow.
offered in 9 different options. Yeah.
Wow.
So real tree, veil stoke, true timber strata, Fred Bear. Then we do wildfire, toxic, muddy girl, undertow, and shadow.
Wow. Huge
So you can
amount.
really customize this bow to your look, right? Which we feel is very important, especially at this type of price point. So we make sure, and that one gets the Onyx map subscription for
Oh,
free
okay.
through 3
Yeah,
months.
yeah, yeah. Very cool. All right.
And then the Cruiser G2 we kept in the line just because the mass weight of that bow is just incredible at 3.1.
Oof,
So it
so
definitely
light.
lends itself to some younger shooters. So the specs are, fairly similar to the legit, but that mass weight definitely lends itself to some of those younger shooters. The balance is a little bit different too as well. So we did reduce what camos you can get it in, but it's still our most popular one. So Real Tree, Strata, Fred Bear, and Shadow.
So when so just so for those who don't remember or whatnot, but so when Kevin in his 60s came to me and said, "Hey, I need a bow. I want to shoot a deer with a bow. The first time I've ever killed a deer with a compound bow." I went to Bear and I talked to them and they sent me this bow for him. And he shot a buck with this bow the first year in his 60s. And this bow, I mean, because it has such a variety of, draw lengths and draw weight and being super light for him. And he didn't have to this was like a perfect bow for what that situation was. And I look at this bow and I think it can really fit anybody. And that's why I'm really excited about the new one as well, because I feel like you're kind of in that same boat with the legit and, just getting more, basically, I guess, more of an update, a cool look to it, little bit different cam, and then a full kit. I mean, unbelievable. Pretty cool. Great bow. Cruiser G2. Great bow. Royale, we talked about a little bit.
Yep,
Love
it
Royale.
just gets the extra package now as well, and it's a youth oriented.
What's the deal with the Limitless? I guess I don't know much about this bow actually. The Limitless.
Limitless, it's been in the line now for a couple years, and it does well. It's that price point. Just get into archery type bow. It does have pretty good adjustment. I mean, 19 to
Wow.
29, 25 to 50. So it doesn't get as heavy draw weight as your Cruiser G2 or your legit, but still gets you into archery to really see if it's something that you're interested in doing or not without spending a ton of money.
It's pretty impressive, honestly, because you guys have a lot of bows that have a huge range and draw length and draw weight. Now that I'm seeing this like in writing, it's like amazing how many you guys have that can do it. So it's very, very impressive.
And that's just a chart of the bows, so you can see their kind of how they stack up. And you're right, there's a lot of different choices in the draw length. That's also why the Eko Cam was so important to us. We really want the fit of the bow. I mean, you guys know we compare bows to shoes all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the bow fits you well and you're able to adjust it to your own personal preference, you're going to probably enjoy it a lot better than if it didn't. Just like a pair of shoes. If you're a size 9 and I put you in a size 10, you're not as happy.
Yeah, I can't. That Limitless got 7-inch brace. Like, wow, I just noticed that. Huge. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. I think we're moving to the crossbows. So let's check out the impact. Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. So obviously narrow is what we wanted. And one spec that I'm going to call out, just because you can easily see and read the specs here with the 420 speed, which is really good. How narrow it is, cocked and uncocked, 8 inches when it's cocked, 12 when it's not, which is not very wide whatsoever. But I'll call out the balance of this bow is huge. So crossbows get compared to firearms often, right? And as we know with firearms, balance matters, right? You might have a light rifle, but if it's all in the front and not in the back, it feels heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So crossbows are very much that way. So balance is one of the key features of this crossbow that we worked very hard on to make sure that it balances well, so it feels very light. And maybe not even light's not the right word, maybe just that it feels comfortable. The other exciting thing for us is we haven't really had a crank system on the bows before. So this is what we call our silent crank system. So it can cock the crossbow completely silent, so which we feel is important in the hunting woods. And then also you're able to decock with the crank, which is a pretty important feature to us. Safety is always one of the more important things. So, and then that is offered in Vale Stoke and True Timber Strata. Other cool little feature on there that you can see in the second picture better than the first picture is, well, I'm going to call it the foot stirrup. That it's what most of us know it as. It's what's out front there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still use it as a foot stirrup. So you can put your boot or your foot on there to help cock it, or use the cocking aid, of course, if you buy it that way. But it's like its own bipod also. So you can see that would fit on a shooting house rail. That's perfectly. Cool. Also folds up out of the way flat if you want it to be.
That is really cool. It's almost like a stand too.
Yes.
That's cool. I would say to people that might not understand what they're looking at yet, is that if you notice where the grip is, the bolt goes behind the grip, so that they're centering the balance. Whereas like a lot of crossbows, this is behind, and the bolt isn't. The grip would be here. So just to give you an idea of front top heavy compared to center, and this is the concept of centering that weight. But it looks phenomenal. This looks like I'm very excited. The price point looks good to me, $1,050. That looks like a good price for a bow like this. This is really impressive. $420. I don't know, Boom. What do you think?
It looks awesome. I really would love to give it a shot. And I've never seen is that quiver mounted to go on the top too?
Yep, the quiver's mounted on the top, and you can move it left or right side.
Huh.
Okay, so it's going to come with, I just want to understand
as well.
this. So it's going to detachable, silent, cranking. It includes that. Okay, so it's coming with this, everything I see.
So it comes with that, the 3-Bear True-X bolts, and then it's illuminated scope. And the quiver holds 4 arrows, which it comes with in a sling, and then it also comes with rail lube and wax. Another little cool thing, right underneath the stock where you would put your shoulder, there's a little clip right above that, right underneath the logo.
Oh, right here.
So that's rail lube right there.
Oh, nice.
And like it looks like chapstick.
Yeah.
So it's a little holder to put your rail lube in.
That's perfect. That's very helpful.
We lose it all the time.
Yep.
Well, and that's our way to keep it taking care of those strings.
Tell us about the crank. It's a silent cocking. So is the crank going to be able to go up and down, reverse as well?
It can. Yep. So you're able to decock with this.
Nice. So this comes off, and you put it like in your bag or something after you're done?
Yep. Ideally, you would, put it in your backpack or somewhere safe. But yep. So you would, there's just it fits on there pretty seamlessly. So you wouldn't shoot with it on.
Can you manually cock this as well or no?
You can.
Okay,
So
cool.
if you don't, by taking that on and off, you can manually cock it. And actually, if you go to the next slide, so this is the Impact CD,
Oh.
CDXV, and it is the same bow minus the silent cocker.
Wow. Okay, great. So you have a
Because
cheaper
to your
option.
point, yeah. So some people, yep, obviously it drops the price because some people don't want a cocking option like that. I mean, obviously, if you're able to cock it, you're going to be able to cock it manually faster than cranking. And
Yeah.
some people like that speed of being able to cock it faster.
Dave doesn't like those things.
No, so I was going to suggest to people, if I'm the consumer, I'm buying this one, and the reason is I hurt my back cocking a crossbow, and I'll never forget it. And it slipped my disc to where I had to. I was out for like a year. I could not even crank a crossbow for a year. That's how bad it was. And so my recommendation to anybody watching this is to take advantage of this for the money. It's totally worth it. I probably paid $500-600 in med bills, maybe more. So definitely not trying to get off topic, but
$100 difference.
it's totally 100% worth $100 to buy that crank. I'm just being honest with you guys. I mean, I know you think, oh, no big deal. Believe me, I've thought the same thing. Oh, I'm young enough. I can crank this, no problem. So then what happened is the rest of the year, the guys had to crank everything that was manual. They were so mad. Even when I was hunting, they had to crank it for me before I went out. It was embarrassing, but it is what it is. Anyways, this looks great, man. I love the front end. You can see it here now better.
You can see a little better there. I was going to call that out.
That is so cool.
So you just get the option. I like the crank option myself too, but either way.
But yeah, if you're gonna do it, you can do it and save a little bit of money. So it looks like the Constrictor's sticking around, $629.
Yep, the Constrictor stays in the line. No changes to it. As we keep going, though, we have a change on that, and the Constrictor CDX is the same. So the Intense is the same, but we're also going to give you an option to get the Intense with the crank. So right there, you can get the Intense CD and then the Intense CD with our DTAC crank, our cocking crank. So this is a different crank than what we just went over.
Okay.
So what we just went over is our silent crank, which kind of has all the bells and whistles. So this one, you're not able to decock the crossbow with it.
Okay.
But still cranks it very, very easy. And then if you want to go to the next slide.
Differently than the other one?
It does fit in differently.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, I was just wondering why you wouldn't use the same one. So that makes sense because of the way the stock is made. It probably fits in differently. But this bow, real quick, I'll just say to everybody, this was one of my favorite bows last year for crossbows.
Value too.
Look at I love this area of the bow and the way it looks. So this area to me was like one of the safest I've ever seen when it comes to crossbows. So this is definitely something at this price. It's like a really good deal. So really good deal.
Yeah, I'm actually able to, shoot the Constrictor or the Intense, and I started to find I shot the Intense way more, or hunted with it way more than the Constrictor. I don't know, it just felt really good. So both great bows, but I didn't really feel like I needed that extra speed. So the Intense, which 400 feet per second is pretty fast still. So.
But again, at this price point, right, you're talking a whole different level than when we talk about way up here, where we're talking about something that's a lot more money. So yeah, I mean, your cranks are going to be different. That's just normal. I mean, this price, you're the $100 is only $100 here, but realistically, that $100 is in this price, so it could be actually more than that because it's a different crank system. But the good news is you could do it, and then if you have to fire it, you fire it. I mean, you just get one of those. They know they sell the little dummy targets, or a lot of people have targets anyway, so it's not a huge.
Yeah, or decocking bolts and things like that.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I love these things.
All right.
This is my favorite.
I got one sitting right here.
I love the Desire.
Your video on that was really good last year. So
fun, man. This is like literally one of the funnest things. We take this in a hunt camp all the time just for messing around. So
mine just hangs here. No big deal.
Anything on this area you want to show, Ryan?
There would be, we call out the decocking crank, or not decocking, the DTAC.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. And
that's the one for the Intense.
That's the one for the intense, but you can see that bracket right underneath. So, and the reason that's important is this will
Oh, I
work on
see.
our other crossbows. So if you
Oh,
bought one of our Saga crossbows, um, like a 370 or a 405, this crank would work on it. If you buy a Constrictor or one of the other intense models, this will work on it.
very
So
cool.
we're packaging it up with that intense CD, but you're able to buy this separate to work on any of the crossbows you may have already purchased or one of our current models as well.
Very cool. All right. So the crossbow comparison chart for anybody who just wanted to take a peek at it. Ton of variety. You guys did a really good job on the variety this year. Really excited about the new one too. That's really, really cool. All right. Fred Bearway, baby.
Yep, so pretty exciting and traditional. Really, as it comes to traditional, this was our 50th anniversary bow. We offered it this year. We carried it over the this to the 2021 line, just because 2021 or 2020 had its own struggles, and with COVID and everything like that, we just feel like we can continue to produce that this year to get as many out there. There's so much great demand for it. That's the first time we've done that style handle in quite a while. So we want to make sure that we're fulfilling all the customers' needs on that. So we kept it in the line. Here's the exciting one.
Oh
I think
man,
you can see me
this
smile.
looks
This
so
one's
cool.
just fun. This one's just fun for us at Bear. We very much hear the customer when they're asking for things. So sometimes you wonder if companies hear it. Yes, we hear you. So this has been asked to be put back in the line for a long, long time. It hasn't been in the line since the 70s. Of course, it has changed some. So the original mag riser was made out of magnesium. That's not a popular material anymore for bows. So this is made out of aluminum. Um, and then we actually went kind of like the camo that I've talked about in the past is I mean, things are so different in 1970 to 2020, right? Like
Yeah.
crazy different. So just technology, right? So um, we did multiple molds of the original bows and put them into all different engineering software to really optimize it everywhere that we could, just because technology and times have changed, right? So um, there's quite a bit of technology that went into reproducing this. As you look at this versus maybe the original, there's not a side plate window or a sight plate window on this bow like the original was. I mean, back then there's still people kind of using that as a way to sight or to hunt with their bow. That things are quite a bit different now. So we did make that small change. Other than that, it is very, very close to the original. So we ended up coming out with the Fredbear camo in it right off the bat, and then the moss green, which was one of the first colors as well. This bow feels great. So it will work with all our other limbs. So if you're using like our number one limb, it'd be like a 56-inch bow, which is kind of like the length I like to use. You put number three limbs on it, it's a little bit longer. So taller guys tend to like that at that 60-inch. But we 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 hope that the customer really gravitates to this bow. We worked very hard on it, so you can tell we're very passionate about this one. This
Yeah,
was
very
something
cool.
Fred spent a lot of time on, so for us to reintroduce it means a lot to us.
I want to buy it just for the picture in the background. It just makes me feel like just like the old, school mentality. That's a great photo. Like I just wonder if Fred Bear ever really thought about like, nowadays like that like, when that picture was taken, like that would be used for like images like this, just inspiring people to, you know what I mean? Like to get into archery. It's just amazing to me. What a beautiful photo right behind
And
us.
people have wanted us to do a metal riser of some sort for a long, long time. So it
Yeah.
was time. We're pretty excited about it.
I bet you that's the old Michigan woods there, No Boom.
I bet.
Yeah. All right. This is
And
probably
then
the same.
Yep, most things stayed the same. You will see like that one right there. We changed the wood in a few of them. That Super Kodiak, the one you were on just
Oh, this one
before.
here. Yeah.
Yep. So now we're offering it in Sedua with that black stripe in it. So different wood. It looks really good.
Oh, it looks
Um,
really good.
so we did
Very
offer
cool.
that new wood in a couple models.
Very cool. I love this one. I always love the design of this one. I think it looks so cool. Wow.
Yeah,
You guys got a
there's
lot of
lots
traditional
it in too.
bows. Crazy.
Yeah, it's a little
Sometimes
bit
you
of
don't
who we
realize how
are. So
many, Sometimes you
yeah.
just don't realize.
Accessories.
So on the
Oh,
accessories, we did offer some new recurve cases, like number 4 and number 5 are new, and then we also just redid our our stringers. So for the longbow and recurve, just made them a lot better, so they grip the bow a lot better. Um, Obviously, as we were just talking, these are wonderful works of art in our opinion. So using the better the stringer, the better to preserve that bow. And
yeah,
then
very
it's
cool.
small things, but we offer a hat pin that's a replica of the coin that goes in our bows, which is pretty we think's cool. And then Fred Bear used to give, hunt patches and so many things along the way. So we brought back a few patches. Some of them kind of look like the old ones, and then some of them have been adjusted to be a little bit more modern. But still pretty cool.
I feel like I want to watch this with no boom. This is probably so amazing. It's all those old
Yeah, I
hunt
would
videos.
love to watch all the old shows.
And these books look great too. That's really cool. It's really cool you guys still do this, keep that going. It's amazing. Very cool. All right. I know we're not done. There's a lot more in this book.
There is nothing, not a lot in youth. We're pretty much cover you head to toe. When it comes to that, nothing brand new.
That's a cool shot too. I know there's some stuff coming up here though.
Yeah, there's some trophy ridge.
Whoa.
So on the releases.
Look at that. Wow.
So are you guys T-handle guys or are you guys wrist strap
I'm a
guys?
wrist. I think we're wrist for the most part, but that looks sick. Wow.
So yeah, that one's pretty awesome. I use a little bit of both. I've been using T-handle more often lately, but sheer trigger is amazing once you start to use those. So that one's very crisp and you're able to adjust the trigger. Obviously, we think that aesthetically looks really good, but when you're in the T-handles, one of the more important things there is how much can you adjust it, right? And you can tell we've made sure that you're able to adjust that just about any way that you want, so it fits you really well and comfortable. We also think the weight of that is pretty good too. So not overly heavy. We are thinking more hunting than target, so it's
good idea. What is I don't understand this right here though. Is this the trigger or is this the trigger?
So where it says shear style mechanism, that's where you cock the shear.
Oh, it's the cocker. Got it.
Yep.
And that's where you fire it.
Yep, that would be your thumb release.
No, I get it. Okay, that makes more sense. I didn't figure that one out. Oh well, that's embarrassing. All right, so Youth has got their own.
Yep. So Archer X, that's completely brand new. It's used, so it's a smaller strap. We made sure it fit a lot, and then of course we also made it so it's very adjustable. So it should grow with your child.
$25. You guys are killing me. Do you guys make any money? Dang, that's amazing. What a deal for kids. Oh my gosh, that's a great
We definitely want you to get involved in archery.
Yeah,
right?
I can
especially
tell.
youth's huge for us. So and then you've got the shootout, so you're able to adjust that length quite a bit on that rod. I think that's one of the cooler things there that you're able to do. It's really, really easy to adjust it. I mean, you can basically just do it with your fingers, so that way you can get that perfect fit. You guys are pretty big into archery, and I was tech for many years, and that's one of the things you see people do wrong quite a bit is they just don't have a release that fits them.
Yeah.
And it can fix so many problems, right? So pretty important to us that we're able to do that. The spot on is a single jaw. When I do shoot wrist, I like a single hook. Everybody's got their own preferences. So we definitely make sure that we answer pretty much all your needs. So we offer the dual jaw, the spot on is the single jaw. The Archer X is the bigger version of the Archer X Youth, right? So some guys definitely like that floating head, so to say. So it definitely has that.
You guys got a lot of releases. Holy
we do.
cow. This is amazing.
So we're trying to make sure that we offer everything you need.
Which is
like
the one that comes with the Ready to Hunt extra package?
Archer X. So just at the top of this
one.
page, that one right there.
And then for the kid one, it'd be this
Archer
one?
X Youth. Yep.
Cool.
Good starter releases, so then you can, I mean, like I was just talking, all of us have our own preferences. That's a good release to start with, and then you can start to go, do you like dual jaws? Do you like sheer? Start to go the way that you have your own personal preference.
Or hook style.
Yep, hook style, and that's even a way up front hook style, so a little bit different than if it was further back. So, yeah.
I love the price points too. You guys did a really good job in these price points. $80. I love how you guys are always like, you have a lot of things that are just a couple dollars apart. It's awesome. Gives the option, a lot of option, I guess, when you're in.
Yeah, especially on releases, because there's a single jaw there versus a dual jaw, so the price doesn't always have to change a lot to be very different to fit your style.
Okay, here it is. This is what I've been waiting for.
All right. So we did offer these last year. They're definitely full in the market now. So these are awesome. I'll make sure that you guys are able to get one. Maybe we'll make sure it's on the test bows. This would be great for your test bows this year.
How does the veins go through? Is this going to be my vein goes through here, here, and here?
Yep.
Wow.
So you would shoot that like cock vein up, so to say. So
got it.
And then one thing that's a huge difference, and once you see it, put an arrow in it versus putting an arrow in a regular whisker biscuit, which of course I love the regular whisker biscuit, but you put an arrow shaft in there and the contact you're going to get is about a half U, right? So it's touching the bottom part of the circle. Well, now that you have a V, depending on how big your arrow is, it's just touching it in 3 points. So the arrow contact is less.
Okay. Very
which of
cool.
course is less drag, less friction. So
and again, same with the price points. You guys go from 80 all the way back down to 50.
Yes, and you're getting different adjustments in your rest when you get that. So you get micro adjust with, that's got complete micro adjust, windage elevation.
I wish I could tell you guys how many times I picked up a whisker biscuit that was like the lowest model and shot a deer the next day. Like literally have done that so many times. It's not even funny. Like that is my go-to rest. The original biscuit, the cheapest one too. It's not even like the high end. Like literally this one. It's not this one. It's usually this one right here.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to argue with you. They work.
I literally put it on the day before.
Every time, all the time. They just work.
It's just perfect. And I don't need I can figure out how to set this up myself. Honestly, like it's been a great experience with the whisker biscuit over my 10 years of doing this, or 11 years of BHP now. This has been our go-to for a lot of our test videos. If you watch any video with speed tests, we're always using this. It is literally my favorite, and I always forget you guys had colors.
The last couple of years, because I'll get to camp and then my drop aways in the middle of camp. Like I go, whisker biscuit. So it's like Mr. Blanton.
Yeah,
he's killing all the deer.
Yeah, that's so funny. The cool colors though.
Yeah, that way you can customize with your bow look, and we do offer those options in the V biscuit. A few of those too.
Oh, very cool. I didn't realize. Oh, yeah.
So you just buy the kit, and then you're able to swap those out.
How long would these last an archer? I mean, how many shots do you guys recommend?
A long time.
Interesting.
Obviously, if you're seeing any type of wear or anything, we would suggest changing them. But, I mean, it should be thousands of shots. And it also just depends, too. There's a difference, what is it, a carbon shaft? Is it like an Easton Full Metal jacket? All those things matter. Also, the weight matters. So, but we do test for all those. Heavier arrows, lighter arrows, faster bows, slower bows.
Yeah, I mean, I've never personally ever worn out a whisker biscuit, and so I think it's funny when people say, "Oh, you'll wear it out," or I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that ain't gonna happen." Oh man, anything new on the drop away side?
Nope, drop away is the same as the year before. We do offer the drop away sinks. They've done really, really well for us. So they were new a year ago. So
yeah, very cool, very cool.
And then the sights are all the same, except besides the two sights we already went over.
Yeah,
the one other change I would say is we did change, as you keep going through here, we did change that light on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the button light you're saying.
Yep.
These things look so cool. I think you guys done such a great job with these.
Yeah, that's the click light right there. So we did change that. And of course, that's a universal light. So anything with that threading, you would be able to switch to that if you like.
Very cool. There's still more pages. Well,
Oh, there's more.
This thing is going. You want me to stop?
We make sure. No, you're good.
Okay, yeah, we've seen this
yep,
last
same
year,
releases.
2 years ago. This is a great product here.
Yep, same stabilizers.
I love
same
these
quivers.
I love these quivers. This is like my favorite quivers. So nice.
So do you use the lights in it a lot?
Yes, the lights are. Oh my gosh.
We hear that a lot. A lot of people don't realize how great it is until you try it. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'll never use it," and then
you'll
see
use
them
it
a week later, and they're like, "I don't know how I went without that."
Yeah, you'll use it. That's like one of my favorite things. It's so easy.
So we do sell the arrows separate. So if you were to buy one of our RTH Extra packages, and you wanted to stay with our arrows, of course, because as we know, people use arrows, you'll lose them. They break, things happen, right? So you are able to buy 6-pack replacements.
Very cool. Oh.
And one new Peep. So we did the no tie tube Peep last year. Now we're going to do, it was very popular. So now we're going to do a no tie. This one will be aluminum true Peep. So true Peep has been around for a long, long time, right? So no tube on this. So works like our no tie. It's aluminum. So you just have to, you would put it in your string, cross your strings. So no need for serving, anything like that. But then,
it's awesome.
But no tube needed.
This is awesome.
We just did it in the most popular hunting sizes.
This is the no boom. This is what we need.
Yeah.
This is literally what we've been waiting for. We can't tie in worth crap. So this like here is like a dream come true.
Especially if you have a bow press. If you have a bow press and have an idea, and then it's perfect for you because then you can.
Perfect.
And a lot of people kind of know if you take your old bow and you measure, where your Peep was before, it gives you a good starting point.
Wow. That's so cool. Is it possible if this is in that you can still move it a little bit if you push it really hard?
Not really.
Okay, so, that's good to know.
So some people try. If you push too hard, bad things will happen to the string or
just go ahead and
on the aluminum. I don't think there would be any give at all.
Got it. Good to know. All right, that's good. So we know what to do then once we get them. I'm calling Alec on this right away.
Yeah, if you need to change it, just bow press it and adjust.
Perfect. All right, that's cool. Uh-oh.
So nothing new. We do love to call out that that the SK2, which I know you guys have talked about in the past, has just been an amazing head for us. Yeah, Field and Stream had it the best 2020 compared to all the other heads. Really good, just a hard-working head, very hard-working head.
Beautiful. And you guys recommend this one on the traditional side as well? This F1?
We do. If you're wanting to do 100 grain, lots of times go a little bit heavier on the traditional bows.
Oh, okay.
125 and up. We've actually got, it's elk season, so we've gotten lots and lots of good pictures and testimonial of the F4 and the F3 taking down some good elk already. So strong heads there.
Oh, these guys have been around. Man, it's going strong in these heads.
Yes, and then that siphon at the bottom there, that's the one that comes in the RTH Extra.
Nice.
Just a very good, strong working head, especially if that's going to be your first hunting head.
Yeah, very cool. Sidewinder. Oh my gosh, these things are so historical and amazing. They've done such a good job.
Yeah, we've made some tweaks over the years on them. Just a couple of years on those last two to make technology change, make sure that they're still doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah,
they
great price point too. Cool. Very cool. Cajun. Anything in Cajun?
Cajun. They're everything's carried forward this year in Cajun. Bow fishing has been great. So what a fun, popular sport right now. So.
Ooh, that looks fun. I never seen this one, the fish stick. That looks cool.
Yep, especially.
I love the red. I love you guys do everything in red. It's so cool looking.
So really the only new, we make sure we make a whisker biscuit for everyone.
That's great.
And
Uh-oh.
then, yeah, I know you guys would be excited about
Oh,
this because you've
love
always
apparel.
supported the gear.
I like
So we have
love
some
the
new
gear.
designs coming out this year. You can see them right there at the top. There's some new designs. Um, as you keep scrolling, there's a couple.
Bow Father, I'll take that one.
Yeah, that's cool. I saw that. That's awesome.
I almost wore that one for the podcast. Now I wish I would have. Then we've got that hoodie with the camo sleeves. We think is
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
awesome with the old school
Oh
logo.
yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. I
And
love
then
the Cajun logo, dude. That is like literally one of my favorites. It just looks so good on all these things. Such a cool logo.
And then the other, we have some items too, like you had already talked about or already asked us for with the cornhole boards and stuff. So
Yeah.
we try to make sure that there's some stuff out there with our brand. So that's fun.
I love this one. This is definitely something you find in Upper Michigan. No boom will wear that in the UP when he's up there. That's awesome. Very cool. Oh wow, that is cool. Venture pack. That is neat.
And then that decal on the right side there, the Fred Bear Way, that's new with kind of the
Cool.
cutout of him and the trad bow. So that's new this year, which we're excited for that. And then those LED lights, maybe we need to get one of these for your guys' office. So every podcast you can have Bear behind you.
Where's the LED light at? Where am I missing it?
It's right above the stools.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a light. Oh,
That's a light.
those are lights.
I
Oh,
like the traditional one.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that is cool, dude. That's legit. I thought that was a patch or something. Oh yeah, that's really cool. That needs to be in the video when we do the video. What are these notes? This is cool. Is this for people at like?
Yeah, that's just for the book. So when you have that book, you could write whatever
That's
you want.
awesome.
Yeah, nice.
All right, man. That was experience right there. That's fun to go through it with someone who actually knows what's going on. You're just not just trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, it's nice to give kind of the backstory or reason we do some of the things we do. I also know there was a whole lot new in there, so I appreciate the time. There was
Yeah, no problem.
when you go through it that way, you're like, wow, we did a lot new. We're excited.
You guys have so many brands, it's hard to like just cover one thing. There's a ton of stuff. The areas that, I'm very excited for a lot of the new stuff you guys are doing. One of the areas I'm excited to learn about more, and I think Jamie is too, and for us is the bow fishing. That's one area we haven't really fully jumped into yet, but we definitely want to. And I know with Cajun, that's going to be something we definitely want to play with this year, because I think it's a huge sport in Michigan, but we just I don't know if we just don't find the time or what the problem is, but we just end up not getting it done, right? That's pretty much it. But that looks really cool. There's so much great stuff. So what was the hardest part? I guess I'd ask you guys that when coming up with these designs.
The hardest part, well, I can tell you usually the hardest part is getting all our team to agree on we're also passionate on each one, and none of the directions are usually wrong. It's just which ways to go. But obviously the more technical items in there is the redemption is very technical, and then I did enjoy some of the things you guys said. Getting some of the price points to be the way we've gotten them isn't the easiest thing in the world. So getting a legit to perform the way it does with that type of versatility, but yet keep the price point at where everybody can kind of enter into the market can be tough at times. But then believe it or not, getting that mag riser right was a challenge this year.
Yeah.
I hate to ask this, but where's my perception? I don't see it in here anymore.
It's not in there anymore.
Oh my God, I'm glad I got one. That's all I gotta say. That was honestly one of my favorite bows ever made, I think, in history. And I'll never let that bow go. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. That was a great bow. I understand people probably didn't buy a lot of them because of shoot through and the price point, but I do want to say that I felt that Bear really slam dunked that bow. You guys showed the industry that you can do a bow that's that cost. If people want to pay it, you can do it. And I thought that was really important statement to be made with that bow. And I feel sorry for anybody who didn't get a chance to shoot that bow. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just happy I got one, so I'm good. Yeah. It's gonna stay on that shelf in that studio forever because I ain't letting it go.
Beautiful. I was gonna say, I know I have one behind me, and I very much enjoy it. It was one of my favorite bows to shoot too. At some point in time, we might have to compare lists because I am that tech nerd that I do have a top 10 bows ever made, in my opinion.
That bow is amazing. Yeah, I definitely. So I'm excited about the new bow. I can't wait to shoot it. All these bows. I'm very excited about the crossbow. I feel like you guys got so much going on right now. I mean, there's so many different areas to talk about and look at. With the Mac Riser, I guess my question would be: is how does that work with limbs? Do people buy limbs separately and it goes into them? How does that work?
Yep. So that's how we do our takedowns currently too, is that you would just, even our standard A and B handle takedowns, you buy them and then you would buy the limbs that you'd want. Our limbs are either, it's a number 1 or a number 3 currently. And so then you would buy the limbs. So if you already had limbs, so to say, so if you already owned a set of Bear limbs, they will fit in that Mag Riser bow.
Wow.
So you wouldn't have to buy new limbs unless
Are
you
the
wanted
limbs wood, or what are they made of?
to. No, they're wood. Yep. Wooden glass.
Wood.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, Novo.
Yeah, I'm not. It's got my interest.
I was gonna say if there's a way to do it, I think that's the way. That's pretty neat. So okay,
But I would say it. Everybody does it a little bit different. Like I have an A handle hanging up behind me. I like to keep those limbs with that bow. I just know how it shoots. So everybody does it differently. I tend to get another set of limbs to go with the riser. That way I can get them paired together and shoot the way I want them to shoot. But you definitely could mix and match.
So like the cases that you have, is like the recurve case, the longbow case, is that, how does the Mag Riser go into that, or is it not made for that?
No, it definitely could. So once you clip those limbs in, they're not coming out. Even if you take it's not strung, you just have the string on there loose.
Now it makes more sense. So
Yep,
when they
it's
clip
how our
in,
pockets work. Yep.
can the limb ever come out or no?
Oh yes. So yep.
Can come out.
Yep.
But you're gonna put it right in that case. You're saying with the limbs on, just with the string loose. Got it.
Yep.
Cool. I didn't understand. Now I get it. So, as far as traditional goes, just a quick question: have you ever killed any animals in the traditional side of it?
With me, no. So I can tell you, I came the closest this year. I don't know that I was on here when I was turkey hunting or not, but turkey hunting this year. So I live in Nebraska, and you're able to you get 3 turkey tags. And for some reason, I decided I wanted to shoot one with the compound bow, crossbow, and a recurve. Maybe because I work for Bear Archery is why I decided to do that. Anyway, yeah. So I went out there multiple times carrying 3 bows with me, not knowing what opportunity, and that's getting to be a lot to carry. Well, anyway, I shot one with my compound, and then I shot one with the crossbow, and I went out a couple different times with the recurve, and I can tell you I'd be pretty picky. I did end up hitting a Jake and searched and bumped it a couple times.
Man.
And, I was practicing every night, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, trying to get proficient with it. My hat's off to anybody with traditional, because you just have to stick with it so long.
How do you turkey hunt with it though? Do you I mean, normally, like for me, I sit in a ground blind for turkey and I use a compound or crossbow. With a bow this long, is that still possible, or are you generally like behind a tree?
So some people do definitely get out of a blind. I made sure I was using a bigger blind so I could stay in the blind, because the same way I really wanted everything stacked up in my favor versus turkey, since I was trying to do it with traditional. So maybe next time I'm on, I'll tell you a deer story, but it's tough to put down the compound at this time to grab the traditional bow.
Also, as a side note, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, No Boom, but don't they sell blinds that actually have a goose top that opens up, and so you can actually have the height?
I don't know.
Because you can shoot out, you can shoot the guns out the top. I think they actually
ones that open from the front. I don't know about the top.
I could have swore we had one a couple years ago that like it opened. But anyways, if it did have an opening on the top, that would be ideal, because then you could you'll have the length no matter what at that point. But that would be I got to kill deer with a traditional bow. Like No Boom, I think we should do this bear challenge in 21 where we go out and we have to at least kill a doe with a traditional only. Like we will not stop.
We got to put it to the test, right?
we will not stop until we kill one. Like that should be the video that we work on, like together even. Maybe we even like film each other, and then that way it's like really, you know, really well done.
Yeah, it goes.
All right, Ryan, what else we got to cover? Anything else? We miss anything on this launch?
Nope, I don't think so. We went over pretty much everything. And as you guys know, of course, once all the new items launch, they'll be live on our websites, so beararchery.com. So you can check out everything there.
So when you guys are watching this, they will be live most likely. So, Ryan, job well done, man. Honestly, you guys crushed it. I'm very excited about this. I'm so happy you guys gave us a chance to review it with you. And I'm just so excited that Bear over the years just keeps like getting better and better, and then also continuing to hold the heritage of Fred Bear, and at the same time really pushing the idea that we as a company are going to get more archers shooting bows, and that's like literally critical. And obviously with your price points, you guys have proven that you're willing to do that, and even if it's a risk to bear that, you know, because someone might buy a cheaper one, not buy the more expensive, where obviously most companies are profiting more at the higher end. So well done, job well done. Excellent.
We appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support.
And you got to see it right here, Bear Archery's launch. Very exciting. Ryan, thanks so much. Go to beararchery.com to learn more about what they have. And you've seen it all here in detail, but now you'll be able to click on some stuff and go to your dealer and pick up your bow today. We'll see you guys next time on BHP Podcast.